Right, house prices now. Nationwide Building Society's their monthly house price index report has just come out at 7 o'clock this morning. What does it show? It shows that the average UK house price fell 0.6%, down 0.6% last month. That is the fifth consecutive monthly decline in year-on-year property value. Let's now go to, beside me now, CEO of mortgage startup Will Rice here. Well, is this? I can never really work out if it's good news or bad news. It's bad news, obviously, if you're selling a house, that the house prices are going down. But generally, by and large, is it okay, that news?
A correction, some would call it?
Depends which side of the table you're on.
Yeah.
But it's very much a continuation of the same trend that we've been seeing since the mini-budget. The most interesting number that I've seen over the last couple of days is actually not this nationwide figure, which tells us that things, house prices are still trending lower. It's the fact that yesterday the Bank of England also disclosed that the number of mortgage approvals was at 35,000 in December, which is the lowest number since the financial crisis.
That's down 23% on the previous month. So
yes.
People are finding it much, much harder to get mortgages.
It has halved. So if you look at where were we 5 months ago, that number is down from about 65 to 70,000. And then if you break out remortgaging from purchase, remortgages are doing a lot better. So the purchase numbers are down considerably more than 50%.
Do you know, when I read into those figures and we talk about mortgages being granted down, look at the knock-on effect of that. Builders, painters and decorators, solicitors who are involved, and anybody who's involved in the whole market of houses and refurbishing houses and whatever, that's got to have an impact on the economy generally.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that builders are looking at any possible solutions to support sales. You've got to remember Help to Buy finished at the end of last year as well. So what's been an enormous prop for demand for new build housing has also disappeared at the same time that mortgage financing has become harder to come by.
And because, well, what we do know is when house prices do start to go down, people just decide not to sell up, don't they? There's just fewer houses on the market. The stock just isn't there, which means that those people who are trying to buy find themselves in these really crazy races. It's really, really hard. You have to pretty much be a cash buyer nowadays to be able to get the property that you're trying to get. So you have to either live in rental or be in an incredibly secure financial position. And as you say, harder to get a mortgage than ever. It's tough out there.
It is, but I'd say there are also some green shoots, though, that are just beginning to emerge. And I don't think they'll show up in house prices for a while, but there are things that are going to start to turn things around. So we've seen data from a few mortgage lenders over the last week that shows that week by week since this year began, the number of new mortgage approvals has been growing. And last week it was up 20% from the week before. Now, it's still down 40% over the pre-mini budget levels. So this isn't a snapback. But it means that the market is now up about 20% from December levels.
And is that just a seasonal thing? Because I ask you this, and a lot of people take their houses off the market over the darkest months and start to think about putting them back on in the new year. Perhaps that's the sort of January pickup.
There's always the post-Christmas house hunting boom. Certainly the numbers that we saw at the start of this year looked as if we might have a bounce back because Rightmove came out and said, this was the busiest post-Christmas period that we've ever had. The sourcing systems that mortgage brokers use to find products, apparently the number of searches for new mortgage products was the highest that it's ever been at the start of the year. But it's only very slowly translating through into actual applications and actual home buyers.
OK. And the average price for a house anywhere in the country, an average UK house price is £258,297.